Welcome, everyone. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Before we get to the actual business, everyone's been through the building by now, right? Multiple times, probably?
Yep.
How's it feel? How's it look? For you guys that are going to be living there and,
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, it's okay. I'd like to see it a little more finished, but
Frank Page, 3 demerits.
All right.
I agree. You know what, Frank, maybe you should go.
All right, first order of business, the
All right.
approval of 12:18 minutes. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Seconded. Any discussion required and/or preferred? Seeing none. It's like a pretty limited squad for the roll call. Frank Page, oh, no, you were absent. Heather Brown
Yes, you were there. He was there.
I was there.
says absent. Okay.
I'd like to amend the minutes.
He came late.
Kathy Hill,
Oh, you were here?
Yes.
Definitely here.
Greg Thompson,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Kimberly Collins,
Yeah.
Mr. Quimby.
Can we change that to Mark Frank there? Because he was here
I'm sorry.
on the minutes?
We'll make the correction. I didn't know I needed to. Yep.
Okay. And he can vote if you want.
He's a yes.
Yes.
It's unanimous.
Okay.
Excellent. Anybody from the public, or is it simply our committee members? Okay. Benjamin, I think that's you.
Thank you very much. Still good things to report on the budget side. 91 million, you can see the numbers up on the board here. Almost 92 million invoiced to date. We're starting to fall in that same pattern, as I mentioned last time, where we've received that much in invoices, but what has been submitted to ProPay is lesser because we have some big requisitions that are yet to be submitted, are working through the process of being paid and all of that stuff. So 82,842,270 has been submitted to ProPay. Again, ProPay is MSBA's reimbursement system that we work with Pam and Laura to get the paid invoices and then submit those by the cost code and per the PFA, the project funding, to get reimbursement. So speaking of which, the number that has been reimbursed to date is 42,244,895. You'll notice below RFR, request for reimbursement, number 22 is still pending reimbursement. So this number will inflate to 46, 47 million after that is audited. So in good shape, again, right around where your reimbursement rate is. That's all standard, but some of the divisions, as I've mentioned before, within like the construction contract, because we've already reached the cap on what is reimbursable, everything from there on out is not reimbursable. And you also have the bills that are coming in now are much more finishes. The billings for finishes are higher, which are just categorically ineligible. So certain things are at play and then lowering that percentage, which is natural and to be expected on these projects, but just wanted to.
And you're saying based on the cost of the finishes, go over the acceptable reimbursement
I should have clarified.
criteria?
Finishes themselves are excluded by MSBA from reimbursement in there. So how they look at construction costs and
Okay.
certain caps they put in there, certain things have a threshold where we will reimburse up to this amount. And once you're over that, then no. Finishes are all ineligible. So a lot of the stuff we have going on right now, the painting, the tiling, things like that, if we have a large wreck, a good portion of that is finish related. So those things get clawed out. Whereas early on, everything we were putting in was reimbursable. So everything was closer to your true reimbursement percentage. But
Okay.
and then from there, we do still have healthy contingencies throughout the owner's contingency, which again is used to typically fund, I mean, it's all in the same bucket for the project, but the owner's contingency typically to fund like soft costs. Soft costs, again, amendments to the designer's contract, for instance, would be one. Things outside of the construction contract that would be considered hard costs. Construction contingency, this is really like the owner's construction contingency. This is where the change orders have been. So the change orders to Fontaine's contract have all been funded from this. So still in good shape. And for next meeting, I will certainly put what we started out at and what we are at now. And then Fontaine's GMP contingency, which we are showing at its original value. There are a few pending PCOs in that, which will be executed shortly. Nothing of huge value at this point, but yeah, that's just a
So when do we get to talk about spending the contingencies on contingencies? We're in budget season. Yeah. We're in budget season, and the one project we're talking about, the turf project, is we kind of need an answer if it's a viable project through with this. I don't know if now is the time or later is the time to talk about it. I know there's other options.
You, sir, you're the chair. You can do whatever you want.
I'd like to get the.
Within reason, within reason. Keep you.
It looks very promising.
Yeah.
We're not going to have a final answer for a little bit longer. If the answer is yes, is that a for this season thing or is that a for next season thing?
We had talked about the following, right, schedule wise? Yeah.
So you'd be talking summer 27 is when it would be done?
Yeah.
Yes.
It would be.
Summer 26 is going to be a nightmare.
No, I guess.
So, and
Yeah, that makes sense.
Want to just pile more on and.
I can handle it, but it's just, it's just so you, other fund management, bringing more
Yeah,
on.
I
If we
just
just
asked
kind
that.
of bring it as we do the fields, we kind of clean it together, clean it up on the door.
But we can still do it within the project, if we can.
If we can.
decide.
And yes.
Okay.
So what we would like to do is get it's promising, again, we would like to, and we do have a good kind of understanding. I think Fontaine has done as good of a job as they can, and we have as well at forecasting and taking into consideration everything we have going on. Obviously, with the move and the certain things that you see are going on, we won't have a true value until we get proposals. So we've estimated certain things and used placeholders in that, but we do want to, before we get too far down the road, give you a clearer picture of what that pocket will look like. If you will.
We're gonna do a little bit more vetting, just so there's no big surprise.
No, understandable.
Once you rip it all up and it's,
I don't want to jump in too quick, but I just want to know when.
No, understandable, right? Because if we come to you with that information too late, it's
Right,
useless.
because there are other options, but I think for me, this is one of the most viable.
ideally, when do you need an answer? When do you need yes, it'll happen, but on the timing that we discussed?
I don't know, a month? If we're talking about funding it other ways, we need to know, relatively soon.
I'm a little lost. From a design standpoint, the information that's provided has not been full design. It's been speculative of the potential of doing the project, right? Like, we don't have a design.
So would that be the next process story, and when should we do the design? If we're considering it.
Dory, that context, this is simply based off of, and I don't want to speak for you folks, but Fontaine sourcing, multiple quotes, if you will, based on some limited information on what we think might be done. There's obviously some things that
Yeah.
added to that and some design that would be necessary. So wanted some indication, I think, before we built off of that. So we'll definitely bring you into the fold on that discussion.
So, yeah, we talked about this. This was on the capital plan 2 years ago. And because the vote went the way it went, and we knew we were gonna put everybody on that field, we didn't want to put 100,000 miles on a new field the first year. And so we had sort of every intention of putting it back on the capital plan. And Greg and I have bounced around ideas about this. I would still entertain getting it back on the capital plan, if nothing more than paying for the cost over 30 years instead of just paying for the cost of it. So I think when this is all said and done, if we have to do the field, I think everybody probably agrees with that.
Wouldn't you say that, go ahead.
No, I would probably like to see what the final cost of putting that in a 30-year note would look like, or if we just had the money to do it. in the same time frame, I think that would be probably more advantageous for the town. But those are my thoughts.
When you say money to do it, you're talking free cash, or are you talking about?
I'm talking the capital plan, like it was in the capital plan.
Yes.
And in CPC for the part.
Yeah, we had split it out before, right? CPC was eligible for a portion of it, then the rest of it was on the capital plan, and then we're paying for the cost of it at the time, not paying for the cost of it over 30 years, which is naturally going to be more.
I just see the opportunity to spend over $1 million on a capital project that's not currently on the capital list. I know you know better than I do, Tom. I'm not trying to take that away from you. This is much better of an opportunity for me as an option, because you're talking 0.4% of this whole project. So to say that it's going to break the bank by putting it on a bond, let's spend the money on the roads and let's keep this in the project if we can. Explore all options, but that's what I think we should keep in this project, so.
How do you feel about April 1 as here it is? Here's the number. That's 2 months. That's longer than you said, but I'm asking.
No, I mean, that's up to what
Well, it
Tom wants
wouldn't
to
be
do.
on this year's capital plan anyway, because
so we
we're
got
gonna
time.
load that field again next summer, because we're gonna be building fields next summer, right? So we're still gonna be out there.
So how do you
We can't
commit to 2 years from now funding that through capital?
Just
not how
besides
we
me
work.
being a man of my word.
That's fine. I know you are. I'm not questioning that.
At least you're playing one on TV.
Okay. I wasn't questioning that. I hope you don't think that. I'm just
Of
saying,
course, you know
how it is to fund anything in this town. To say in 2 years, the situation is going to look like it does now
Right.
is not, it's not how it's going to look. So if we have the money and we want to finish the high school project, the whole thing, let's get it finally done. Instead of putting it off and then in 2 years you say, oh, we don't have the million plus, we got to wait. That's all. That's my concern. So we can talk about it. We got time.
So we'll finish our research. We'll still come back to you, let's say within 6-8 weeks, and be able to say, this is where we think we are based on everything we know.
If he's not going on the capital plan this year, it doesn't matter as much. I thought it would go on this year, but as an option.
Well, again, we're gonna overload that field again next year.
Yeah, but the money's there now. It's not going to be there next year is my concern. Potentially.
Okay,
Yep. We got time.
yeah.
So we're doing what we're doing.
Get us some numbers and we'll make a decision. And if it's viable to take it up from the contingency.
Yeah, to piggyback on Steve's recommendation, April's a good time frame in terms of when we can realistically present, because we'll be through the move proposals. We'll have a clearer picture, obviously, from what else is needed out there. So, all right, we'll work.
We can probably also do a test pit or something and see what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
So I'm holding my hand up just to ask a very simple question. Just, do we have,
See that far.
sorry, I know, I'm sorry to interrupt. Do we, just checking, because there have been a lot of discussions about different locations. Is it clear what field we're talking about? Because it's not to me.
The stadium.
Stadium, okay. So you're talking about, that's,
Placing the turf in the stadium.
The carpet
Okay,
needs
thank you.
replacement. It's overdue. And so
All right.
it's going to be $1 million plus. We're looking to wrap it into this project if we could.
I see. Okay, great. Just wanted to check that we're not thinking partial. I heard partial baseball at one point, so I wanted to double check on that. Okay, thank you.
From there, Dory, we got some preliminary pricing based off of, hey, we got to pull this out, replace it, not
Right.
consider drainage and
Sure.
other things that will eventually have to get factored.
Strictly talking about replacing the turf in the
Yeah,
stadium.
we were all the way
Great.
there at Capitol 2 years ago. It was a submittal.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
Where that $1 million came from? We spend $1 million a year
Almost
total.
half of it can go to CPC.
Half of it, 500,000?
It's either the materials or not the materials.
we can't remember which one, but one or the other is eligible.
I thought the carpet was not eligible.
Then
it's all the-
then the
everything else
installation is.
Okay.
It's like,
Great, I mean-
so bidders.
But we don't have to complicate it too. We can keep that CPC money because there's plenty of other projects. That's all I'm saying. This money is here already. It's an option. Okay.
Not borrowed for 30 years.
But then you're just going to borrow it for the roads, right?
Moving on,
Free cash,
we'll get there.
put it up.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes, could we move to the next one? Just quick updates.
I want to go back to how did we get here?
So MSBA continues to be a good partner. The PFA bid amendment, we are happy to, it's finally ready for signing. So Tom, Greg, and Steve, I believe it is, right?
Yep.
Before you leave, please, can we get your signature on that? So again, the PFA bid amendment, what you guys will be signing is just the adjustment.
My pen.
the adjustment to the budget. You had the project funding agreement. It gets amended after we executed Fontaine's GMP contract. You guys remember that happened beginning of last year. Sent in all of those documents, a little bit of back and forth. Took about this long to get the finalized version. So you guys are good to sign. We've confirmed that that all checks out. And that basically brings us to a point where we're good in the pro pay budget. There are, my next item here, budget revision requests. So in this whole process, it's common that you'll have like designer amendments and things that happen on the project, and you need to reflect that in the budget. By the guidance of MSBA, we've held off from processing these individual budget requests, and we actually asked if we could just make the changes to the budget through the project funding agreement bid adjustment. We were told no, because it's just going to complicate their process and it's really going to stall things for them, and it would have taken even longer than, what, 10 months, 11 months, whatever it was.
12 months.
So we decided to hold off on that, but we've got those ready to go. We will be sending the drafts over to MSBA. These are, like I said, the designer amendments that post the PFA, basically. The testing services, Steve, I know you were aware of the certain things that were outside of the statement of special inspections that we've needed, the blower door testing. Nothing major there, but do need to make those moves. And then the move services, we did carry some money in the budget for move services, but at the time, I don't think anybody really thought it would get this complicated. Not that it's that complicated, but we didn't expect the annex to be moving certain things that we've strategized on and think are needed. So we may exceed the budget for that. I don't expect by much, but we will need to move money into that line item if we are then, coding the invoices towards there. So we will spell that out for the committee, for whoever is going to be signing those beforehand. Just want you to know that those are underway and will be coming once MSBA blesses them. And then site visits, so they're out here on January 20th. I was not present. Rich, I know you handled that, and effectively, I believe it was, right? It was a good one.
Absolutely.
Didn't hear any negative feedback from them. So, they're pretty good. Like I said, good partners. They want to come and see the building quickly, but they don't spend a ton of time here, which is a good thing unless something's wrong. Keep their distance. So our next site visit has not been scheduled, the exact date. I think that Peter
early
threw
March,
around a
though.
couple. Yeah, so we'll let Frank and Gordon know. Again, you can attend if you want to. No need to if you don't. School move coordination. So a couple things here. We're meeting with a group, Greg, Tom, Ryan, Jamie, Frank, Gordon, missing anybody, forgive me, Pam. They've been super helpful in orchestrating. The first leg of this was getting the superintendent's office moved, everything over in the annex portion of the building, getting that move prepared for April break. In preparation, we had to do the request for proposal, which is going out, already went out, and we received one proposal back, which we confirmed was adequate through the state. And Tom, I think we're at a point where we'd like to maybe get over there if we can before the next RFP rolls out. We can talk offline. We don't need to get into the details there, but our recommendation is to go with it. So if there's no further concern, if we can confirm on our tour that, it meets the expectations of the town. There are a few other things we want to confirm just for the sake of finishing up the RFP for the spring move. And I know we talked about Ryan maybe getting in there earlier just to set things up and confirming if they have any kind of storage space that we could get creative with the RFP on. But anyways, we'll confirm those details, and then my understanding is we just got to sign the lease agreement. So if that all goes well, you guys will be moving into there. Auction coordination. So this was something we reached out to Auctions International, a company that Skanska's worked with in the past, most recently up at Wacona for their high school move. They come in, they're really helpful. We weren't super confident that they were going to be able to do much with our project, considering the constraints of, schedule really dictates a lot here. And everybody's gotten their best use out of this building and equipment, let's say it that way. And we didn't see a ton of stuff that seemed like it would be hugely profitable. But we wanted to bring in the auction company because they are experts in this. And we're glad that we did. Fontaine walked the building with us. Frank did as well, and Greg. We are confident that we're going to be able to auction some of the stuff in the building. Dave from Auctions International had talked about putting together lots. So for instance, like the kitchen equipment, certain lots of stuff that he thinks will sell quickly. And so he analyzed the building and told us what basically he would not include for auction, which was kind of in line with what we had done with our inventory list and the feedback that we had received from the staff here. So anyways, we sent all the information over to Dave. Alex from our team is working with him to compile the lots for this. We're working with Pam and Dave to confirm the information needed. Somebody from the town basically needs to confirm once the auction happens that whatever was submitted for proposals is acceptable. Should be pretty easy to do. Once that happens, he turns up the invoices, works out the payment to the town, all of that stuff. So still waiting on confirmation of timing in terms of when this will happen. Dave made it seem like it can happen anytime prior to the school ending. So we're thinking sometime in May, but we'll roll out more information once we get that from him. And Fontaine, obviously, will make sure everything works there. And the stipulations are that everybody needs to come get their stuff, needs to get out of here. We do have a few more conversations, I think, to have in terms of disconnections and kind of making that as easy of a process as we can, because we are also going to be moving, all the regular supplies into storage away from the building that same day. We don't want people competing for space and clogging up the system, all of that. So more to come on that. The spring move RFP. So we have tentatively targeted February 9th for the RFP to go out. I say tentatively, at this point it is firm because we've actually advertised that as well. So we've got the RFP in good shape. We do want to confirm a few things. Tom, if we can nail down a time to get over to the Cardamundi property, that'd be great. If not, we could always do an addendum or something like that, get creative. So the summer move,
We can get over there.
yeah, all right, great, fantastic.
No, I mean, we kind of have to do it before we put pen to paper. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I'll be on that. Yeah.
Yeah,
A
just
little backed up this week.
Anything that works with you guys, it's really you two and Pam. Within the next week and a half, we will meet you over there and
Okay. You're free no matter what.
we'll make it, between
Someone will
the
be.
4 or 5 of us.
Well, I heard Rich is effective, so I think.
As always.
Buzzword of the week. So, all right, summer move RFP. So a lot of this is kind of going to be happening concurrently. I should have said in the spring move, we talked about securing the boxes for the teachers ahead of time, ahead of the actual summer move, so that those can be distributed to the teachers. They can pack everything up beforehand. So in April is when that will be happening. We'll have a site visit where the movers need to come. It'll be mandatory. They have to come to the site to see what we're up against. We drafted the RFP and put in as much detail in there as we can. But we also want them to come see it, to ask their questions, to really vet it out. Same with the summer move. We'll issue this in March, hope to get proposals back April. Again, the dates that we've thrown out there are kind of loose now, but kind of needs to happen that way for it all to time out for the opening. So we are online for Friday of next week to check in with the move management team. So Tom will talk offline, set up the tour, and head into that meeting with updates.
Where's everything go for the summer move?
So in the RFP, it's going to be storage. Typically these moving companies will have, on site or some field somewhere where they put their stuff. So we'll put that out there that it's all got to be stored. We don't have a place in town for it, unfortunately, and it can't go over to the new school yet. So it'll be somewhere for a couple months. Alex is not here, he'd be able to confirm, but I don't think there was anything in there that required special storage. I know that the music instruments we talked about originally, but I think that's all been vetted out. So anyways, Alex has spent a lot of time in the school with the department heads and various other staff just to confirm that we have all the details for this. I'm sure the mover will come in and ask us a million questions on top of that. But yeah, that's the update. We're hopeful that we can get the same moving company for both.
Because you can't do the same RFP, right?
So the way it works, this is a 30B procurement for goods and services essentially. So it's based on a threshold, and because we're dealing with drastically different scopes for these moves, we're expecting the first move to come in somewhere around $50,000, which just so happens to be their threshold. Anything below $50,000, you just need to solicit, you get 3 written quotes essentially. We are utilizing basically the full process, if you will, in terms of advertising on combis, goods and services bulletin, just because we want to increase exposure on it, get the best pricing. But you don't necessarily need to for the second move, for the summer move, because it might, I honestly don't know. I think that will be closer.
Over 50.
Over 50. So it's safe to assume that we will be doing so, and we've scheduled it that way.
It's a longer process, is that why?
Yeah, you just
Put them together.
advertise more, you got to bring in the proposals, and then you got to base it off the selection criteria in there. So it's a little bit longer. It's not as like stringent as some of the things we have to do for like file subbidding and stuff like that. It really, as Tom knows, is it's all in the favor of the district as long as you do it the right way, but it's just kind of the red tape of getting there. So anyways, that's the way we're structuring the two. We did see the need to separate the two. Originally, we talked with the group about making this one RFP. We just didn't have the details, and we're gonna have kind of, when we'll have information is it's not.
So the summer move is going to depend on when the last day of school is. We had 2 snow days. How concerning,
Chickens.
Held on.
how concerning is that? Should we try to address it, is what I'm asking? Because we can try.
Every day is important. So
That's what I'm asking.
let's get.
Does it jeopardize?
Winter and we see what we're doing, so.
Well, the option would be to take 2 days back. We haven't talked about it yet. Sorry.
It's been mentioned.
Okay, good. In April, to get those 2 days back,
That would just be for the high school.
just for the high school.
Let's
Is it worth?
let's find out, let's see when the winter ends.
That's my hesitation is
Right,
what
let's-
happens if we
yeah.
have 1 or 2 more. then-
Right, let's.
Then all the more
I
reason.
mean, I wouldn't want to jump right now, right, but let's.
Well, the only reason why,
Yep,
because we have to let people know, families know
I
specifically.
understand.
How does that work, Greg?
How does that?
Taking the days back?
We would move them to the April vacation to be a vote of the school committee.
Don't we, won't we be moving?
The annex here, we will.
The annex.
This part.
Just the annex, yeah. So,
That won't
Sooner.
impact the building at large when that's happening.
Well, that's why I brought it up, but it sounded like no.
No.
It's maybe arbitrary at this point, but when does school committee need to?
I guess my question is like sectioning that off, closing down that hallway, like that's,
10 days from
You're
now.
not wheeling everything
Yeah.
out by the front office?
Well, the more time we can get families,
Yeah.
the better it is for all of us, and that's what, and we have to still talk to the union, and we have to go through that whole process, so there's a bit of a process,
I think you.
if it's worth it. If it's not worth it, then we won't do it. I just don't want to not get in the first day because,
that's just where I'm at, is it really does have to be worth it. You have to tell us like we need those days, just 'cause I know
We just had
lots of
the-
vacations are already planned. People are
Yeah.
not gonna be here, but
Understood.
kids and staff.
Yep.
So school might look a little different
Yep.
for those 2 days, my only thing, you know? But
so wait,
I would say wait until we know what
That's
the rest of the
my
summer,
opinion, too.
winter looks like,
so when when should we know?
other side of February break. That would be my position. I mean, that's 3 weeks from now.
Right.
I think at
And
that point,
you
we'll
know how the
know.
winter's gone, you get into March, you're pretty much good. and then you
Other
go
side of
from there.
February break, usually knock on wood, snow days are kind of behind us at that point, so we have an idea of how many we're talking. You know,
Yeah,
so
okay.
I don't think 3 weeks is gonna
Nope.
impact us.
Well, yeah, all right, great, thank you.
That's about it for me.
That's about it. It's not about me.
Yeah, right.
If we have kids in this building,
FBI, what do you think?
moving forward. Just kind of real quick, in the overview as far as, I don't know if there's any overview slides, Ryan, and all, but I mean, looking and where we're at, you can see a little snow filled. So we're moving forward with some of the finishes. We're starting in the academic wings, and we're working our way through as far as the rough in general. We're actually into the gym, finishing that last bit of in-wall rough. Kitchen's been inspected. We have the now we have the band chorus, the whole building A is all done inspected. We're looking at closing all that. They right there, you see that they were setting up staging in the auditorium. So there's your auditorium, lower sections done and inspected. We kind of closed some of the corridor walls. What we're doing now is we're staging that auditorium so we can drive lifts off the second floor, because we got all these mechanicals high up in the auditorium. We can't reach them on the slope stage and the tiered seating. So what we do is we stage that. So now it makes it quicker for the trades to work their access up there. So they'll drive their lifts on there, put the ductwork in there. We'll do fire suppression, then we'll work our way down paint and start our ceilings and lights, and then we'll take that down. Our goal on this is about 2 months to be able to get this done and out of the way. So we can start doing seating and then doing the walls. This kind of makes it a little bit better for all the trades, just a better access and a little bit more accessible for them to get that, because it's way up high into those. So that's kind of where we're at with this here. Like I said, the kitchen got done and inspected. We'll start sheetrocking that as early as tomorrow. Freezer coolers coming in another week. We got the kitchen hoods coming in. So all that kind of stuff is kind of tying together now for us to kind of move ourselves through the kitchen. The gym area, where we're in that back gym, we'll start blocking and looking at doing all the power for all the above basketball and equipment like that for the batting cages and stuff like that. We'll work on that electrical, and then we'll be starting to kind of clean those walls up too. And kind of when that next month and a half, we should have the drywall pretty much set. Building A, as you hear, and like in Frank's area, that's all done, sanded, ready, turned over to the painter. And then we're looking at kind of cleaning up the balance of A by the art rooms in the backside by the central office. Next few days, turning that over to the painter also. So as we move out of the D&E, we're going to run ourselves into A and then keep going into B. At the same time, we're in the C spine. The pool building there, as you look at that, the decking, all the structural steel is now done. We're actually tenting in the bottom side and doing the exterior of the building there as far as the block work and kind of cleaning that up there. And then once we kind of finish that and close the building, we'll be dumping heat in there to start the interior walls and start working on the pool there. So very active still, 6 days a week, still 200 people on the job a day, roughly 180 to about 200. We're pushing at least 100 showing up on the weekends. It's a hard press. So, but, trades are working great together. The coordination's been great. So it's just getting us through the finish line. It's all good.
Good winter to be closed in.
Good winter to be closed in, absolutely right. It is, hindering us a little bit. The panels are going well on the roof. That's our biggest hinder, but we have all the units set. We have all the power done, disconnects are done. All the gear is on site now, so now distribution's on our side. We have power to the building. So now, once we finish our distribution and tie into the units, so we're on track to actually turn power onto the building by, before March, we'll be distributing through the building for permanent power, which is a great aspect for us to have power on our side. So that's a bonus. So, all good.
All right. Thank you. Anything else on the Fontaine side? Sure, Danielle, you look like you got something.
We always have something.
We'll leave you be. Aviva, I think that's you.
Tori, did you want to talk about design, or should I?
Would you like to? I'm happy to, but your call. I'm all ready if you need.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right.
Person in the room.
Yeah, I know. We're pretty interchangeable. Go next slide then. So you're going to see again some little bit of repeat here, but I just want to share this because this is our last week's starting slide. And if you click to the next one, this is where we are. So mainly it's a weather report, So it's been interesting to see how well this project has handled the cold weather change, and things have been very smooth, I must say, on keeping heat in the building. So thank you, Fontaine. Next slide. So I'm going to focus on the interiors a little bit more than Fontaine did. So we're excited because now's when the finishes are coming in. So E-Wing is starting to show its tile, its paint, its casework, and that really starts to communicate the design. So it's a lot more fun to bring people through the school. They're starting to really understand where it's all going. Next slide. So also exciting, I think just in the last couple of weeks, is the science lab casework is coming into place. And that's really gives a much better extent of this complicated coordination and what it feels like. And the quality has been excellent. You see on the right-hand side, this wing shows the water fountain bays throughout and how they're protected and what they're going to feel like. And then that yellow wall is showing you the cross corridor in the academic wing that is essentially part of the bathroom core for each wing. So the tile in the hallways is pretty extensive now and looking really fantastic. And really as a whole, the progression, as you know, is from the academic cores over to C wing and B wing and A wing. So we're feeling the direction really when we're in D&E and still seeing framing and infrastructure on a big level, still working heavily on A and B. So if you go to the next, what that means is that we're starting to really, we're still working out some issues that answering questions relevant to the core and the finishes. And these two slides are showing you the glulam beams in the main entry area that carry from the lobby all the way through the media center. Those are structural and they're exposed and they're a finish element and they're looking lovely. There's been a lot of coordinated conversation about the care of those beams and what they're going to look like when they're all done. On the right is the learning stair, which is a big, what I think of remember is from way back, the heart of the school, this kind of point where students can gather at the beginning of the day. It's a complex piece of steel going in and a lot of finishes happening on that. Next slide. So this is the gymnasium, and I bring this up because I wanted to talk about the fact that we're answering questions and completing the essential bones of this. And the next thing, as you see from the process here, is that we get into the finishes. The drywall goes up, some of the equipment starts to roll and be worked around, and then the final finishes happen. So in the left-hand side, our gym is primarily abuse-resistant gyp and wall pads, and then your gym floor. And on the right, in the corridors around it, we have a lot more block than in the academic wing. We have very little block there. And you see some of that accent detail. So you start to see in the B wing, we have a lot of the reds, the Spartan red and gray. And in the next slide, this raises a conversation point that there's been this discussion about whether or not we want to take a beat here and formalize a process of putting a kind of a custom mural on the wall. So JWA kept, we can come back to this in a second, but just if you go to the next slide, just to understand context. On the bottom is a render of the gym, and the focus, I just want you to focus your attention on that part that says East Longmeadow Spartans. So in the package owned already is a painted mural with essentially that graphically. It's a little bit different than that, but that's the general idea that it'll be painted, taped and painted by the painter as scope. And we placed it there so that it's across from the student seating. And this was just because the bleachers are all on one side of the gym. There's a lot of equipment that you don't see in this render that comes down, or it's a little bit hard to see, that kind of blocks your view to the other sides. We also have some chases on the other side. So the longest expanse to us and the most obvious place was to place it on this side where it's shown. And if you flip back now, we've also, by the way, added an American flag that'll be in the corner there. So sorry about that. So the conversation has been, do you want to do something more out of your remaining contingency to pay for something more custom? And this is something that that was brought to us as a question by Steve. And that we just wanted to put on the table, because if it's going to happen, we need to kind of get it organized and in play now so that it's ready and doesn't in any way slow down the process. And the same question is going to be applied in another few slides to the pool. And I can walk through that and then we can come back and discuss it if that makes sense.
Yeah, let's walk through it, please.
Okay, so go to the
Welcome
next.
to the Redstone.
It's the red zone. Okay, keep going.
That's what we're gonna put up.
This is actually just because we're at B-Wing. I wanted to just remind you, there was a question raised, I think it was sent to us by Kevin, perhaps, I'm not sure. But there's been this general question about, okay, are we going to be able to fit the trophies from the current school in the new school? So I just want to put this out here to show you the extent of trophy case. This is the drawing. None of these are in place yet, but they're all under fabrication right now. And each one of these two-door cabinet areas is a glass two-door area that's, I believe, 42 inches wide, roughly 7 feet tall. So it's a lot of casework with movable shelving that can be adjusted to fit the height of your various trophies. And more shelving can be added. You know, there's the dash lines show you how much. So we think it's extensive enough to meet your need. It's we did kind of organize that originally. Originally, there was a discussion that the school is going to get rid of some of what they have. So I can't guarantee that it's going to store the entire history of your community, because that was never the design goal. There's also two more that are less publicly present. They're in the back of B-Wing, but I just wanted to share this as a general contextual slide to help answer any questions the school committee may have about that, or the athletic boosters. And then on the right, you see that black square is where we've located power and data for a Hall of Fame kiosk that the school booster club asked for, and they've shared that they have arranged to provide that touchscreen interactive that will allow people to be able to come and, I think, flip through more information about the history of athletics in the school district. So that was a bit of a late ad. So there is a little bit of coordination, I think, on finishes around the tile there that I'm still working through. But generally, that's just something so you're aware of it. And on the left and right are the two entry door areas into the gymnasium. Next slide.
Dory, did you get the specifications for that wall mounting for that?
I got the specifications on the actual kiosk itself.
Okay.
And I just have one last follow-up I need to do on the actual bracket and housing, because it didn't tell me about the bracket. And usually they come with so currently, Greg, it's a mounted bracket and a TV off the wall, which should get it be proud of the tile, which is, I think, fine. I don't think more is needed, but we need to coordinate that bracket to be sure there's no change to the wall.
Is it inset?
It does not look to be, from what I got.
Are folks going to bump into it, kids walking by? Are we worried about that?
Well, usually the bracket's going to carry it 2 inches off the wall, and the monitor itself is under 2. So technically it's fine that way. What we're doing elsewhere in the school, like in this location, is we actually have a housing that's built in to the wall, and the monitor goes inside.
Okay.
So if we wanted to add that, we would have to put that into order as a change to be sure that the similar type of housing is provided for that kiosk.
Would you recommend we do that?
I think for consistency, it's a good idea, and it does kind of clean it up.
Yeah.
What, you didn't say it's a touchscreen?
It is
It's a touchscreen.
Dory, this
The
image that I'm looking at right now,
You're putting it in
is
the
this just
case,
like
how you touch it.
something you threw up there, or is this an actual plan of something going in?
Oh, this is this is a plan that we've shared. So this is where your just general digital signage.
So
So you're-
I guess more what I'm asking is that you have the school mission up there.
Right, which, yes, that you gave us. Yes.
Okay, so I will say that gets reviewed every 10 years, and right now we're in the process of potentially revising that.
Uh-huh.
So
That's why I put it up, because none of this has come to us as a submittal.
okay.
Of these two things in front of you, the one on the left is a vinyl, and the
Okay.
one on the right that says Spartans is paint.
Yeah,
And
I would
we
just
can,
refrain from putting our school mission anywhere in the building, just because it is something that does get reviewed and revised every 10 years. Sometimes it stays, sometimes it does get tweaked, and I just don't want it to become antiquated immediately, you know?
And you're in the process of that right now.
Yeah, we're in the process of that right now. We're gonna have to submit this to NEASC over the summer. We are talking about tweaking some of the wording in this, so that's just why I want to put it on your radar now.
Yeah, no, that's great to know, because, and we should talk about whether you would want to eliminate it altogether. It's a prominent wall, so this is the entry point. You come into the school,
Okay.
this is what you're seeing. We can continue the paint concept and just kind of add to that, so you have sort of a candy cane here.
Yeah.
Or,
I don't have an issue with any of it. I'm just hesitant to put the mission statement up there just because
Yeah.
that does get.
it's
tweaked.
gonna change, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think when we talked about this 2 years ago, you were excited, you asked for that, but I can
Might
see
have,
why
yeah.
that might evolve.
Yeah.
Gets excited.
Yeah.
Dory, Mark just brought up a point about, is there a cover, were you talking about covering that touchscreen for the Hall of Fame?
So
What
if,
cover?
so on this one, the right hand, the one you're looking at here, there is a cover. So you get to spec whether you're covering it or not. This one is not a touchscreen. The one on the other one is
Oh,
a touchscreen. So you can still have it in the housing, but not have the glazing. And
so this one is the hallway going to the pool, correct? And the other one is the bottom of the stairs. Is that correct?
correct, it's right in, when you walk through the vestibule,
On the
before you
left.
take a right into the auditorium, into the admin suite, you can see it in front of you and you can see the stairs to your right.
So it's the main.
So yes,
Like as you walk through the main.
main entrance.
To the left.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right on the
Yeah.
left.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
The like career coach, head coach area.
And Dory, is it safe to say there's a similar amount of trophy space as we have now? Roughly?
Looks like a lot.
Roughly, I mean, you have a lot, and this is a lot.
Yeah. We're going to
So-
pare it down. We are going to pare it down before we move. but
Yeah.
Just so we have an
Yeah.
idea of what kind of space there is.
Yeah, again, there's that count down there below. The reason why I took off the linear foot count is that it kind of depends on how I mean, I can tell you what the linear foot is on shelving, but you can add shelving. It depends on the size of your trophies, right? So in each of those, you see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves, essentially, if you count the bottom. So it's a question of how you want to arrange and do that. And we could conceptually add more, but this is sort of a something that the school was going to spend time thinking about, and I think they're starting to. So I'm bringing it up for that reason.
Yep. I think it looks good.
Yep.
The trophy case. Yep.
Okay. So next slide. Thank you for the comments there. So now as you move out of B wing, you're entering into the vestibule. This is, we've talked about the graphics here, so I just wanted to give you an update on that. So this is the wall that you see when you enter the vestibule at the pool. There's this wall right in front of you, which is the one we wanted to hit with that graphic, and signage to help direct people into the school or into the pool. And then if you're looking straight through to the landscape behind, that's the other vestibule coming from behind the pool building, right? And all this open space to your left is going to be filled in with walls, and that's your kind of office, et cetera. And the big wall you see is the back of the pool, essentially. So this is your entry point. So we talked about this. If you see on the upper left-hand side, there's that graphic we showed you as a render concept that you guys liked. And then we wanted to take that out and explore it further and get some historic language review. We've now done that. So on the right-hand side, you see the final board and the language, which we've kind of shared with Greg and some folks and gotten some text input back. Yeah, it's got the text, and that's been around for review. So we're feeling pretty good and ready to go with that. The colors look a little funny on my screen, but that just might
Is it going to be more of the red stone instead of the gray, the red one on the bottom?
That was the thinking, yes. And the reason is that the text, the gray board pops a little bit more. So that's the one thing I just wanted to double check.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. And then we're going to keep the red flag signs above, one to gymnasium, and then keep the columns in gray. So that's the only other change there.
I wanted to mention, so Tom Behan was the one who wrote that for us, President of the Historical Commission. He passed away last week.
Oh my
I was
gosh.
able to show this to him
Oh,
actually 2 days before, and he was very happy, very pleased with it. So just
great.
wanted to acknowledge him and his efforts, not only for
Wow.
this,
His name down
but for the town. Well,
Thank
now
you for that.
I thought about putting his name as the author.
Yeah.
Right, I mean,
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah.
That's a really good
If he
idea.
wrote it, why not?
Yeah.
Would you like us to do that or cite him at the bottom? as
Yeah,
well?
and maybe he's a class of 80. Can we put an 80 next to his name?
Yeah.
And I was thinking about, should we pull that through the whole building? So there's a lot of people that names are now going to be on this building that were graduates of the school, some of the plaques and such. Should we put years of graduation behind those names as well? It was just a thought. It adds kind of some,
Where else would it be
Yeah,
besides?
makes it yours.
like on the plaques for the school building.
Oh,
committee.
okay.
Oh, like on those?
Yeah, there's a bunch, it would just be an interesting fact as you're reading the plaque, I thought. But certainly I would be in favor of adding Tom's name to this.
Yeah.
If, I will
Maybe we
say
should
on
check with his
the,
family to-
on the committee,
I don't
I,
need to do that.
Well,
Yeah,
Dory,
yeah.
we'll check with his family. Can you do that? Do you have the ability? Okay.
sure, let me know. Yeah, because we haven't, I don't think this has gotten kind of its final send, but we're getting close. On the building plaques, Gordon, I think, has tried to get everybody to sign off on that. We haven't gotten a final from him. So if you did want to add class denotions to the individual names on those committees, you speak to Gordon, because we won't
Okay.
begin layout till we actually get text from him, and we haven't gotten that yet.
Little parentheses after, like 2000 or 00.
Yeah, you did like a
Yeah.
apostrophe 92, whatever.
00.
Which century? No.
Yeah, we're gonna jump the century here from this side of the table to that. So.
We're laughing at ourselves here.
Class of 80, huh? He's young.
It was 80. Yeah.
I was 79.
All right. So if you could go to the next slide, please. So, and remember, back to the mural question. So I'll say the pool committee has raised this idea of a mural here, and I'm showing you all four elevations. So the elevations here on this sheet, just from the drawings, that's the bleacher seats. So you can't put it behind them, and then that is the wall to the left of the bleachers, which is where the big scoreboards, et cetera, are. And this is just an old render, so don't worry about what's on it. My point is just that so don't anybody on Fontaine's team start freaking out that it's not right. This is just showing you there's a lot of stuff on these walls. These are not great walls for a mural. Go to the next slide. So straight across from the bleachers is the upper one. And again, I don't think that's a great wall for a mural, because we have essentially pilasters or sort of ventilation shafts that kind of change the shape of that wall. We had expected banners to be installed that you're seeing, but that, I guess, is a possibility. The wall to the right, which is over the entry to the office and the storage room and the way you come in, that wall has always felt really blank. So that's a wall that I actually think kind of would strengthen the room if you were going to do a mural.
Dory, what do you think about welcome to the Redstone or welcome to the quarry? One of those things.
I will not weigh in on the content, really. I think.
I like that better.
Oh, my goodness.
You don't like
So-
welcome to the Redstone?
Yeah, I do, but not enough. I think text alone, like, honestly, my brain is like, if you can do that, put it to the left as a kind of overarching over something more graphically interesting. Because, my personal thought is that that's not interesting enough.
Okay, duly noted.
Big one.
Thank you for being honest.
Hey,
So much for not going to give an opinion.
Right?
come work in an architecture firm, you're going to learn what it's like to take criticism quickly, like that's what we do all day long. You know what I mean? I just think that, we've talked about athletes or swimmers or something like that. It has to be simple, it has to be strong, it has to be big.
Have to be
And if it's just text, a bunch of text, I mean, we can, again, I think the idea here is that I think the committee is interested in whether or not you want to engage an artist to come up with some ideas, which takes some time.
So Dory, if we're going with text, any text you might put in the pool will probably be replicated in the gym if you were to do something like that, correct?
Font wise, yes, I would agree.
But
Right.
also potential wording, like they're both athletic areas, right?
See, it's catchy. You see, it's already picking up.
So a mantra we've used here, like we typically say like this is Sparta, right? So we're talking about like Spartan Nation, we say this is Sparta. So if we're gonna put one in the gym, in the pool, like that might be something we'd put in both.
Yeah. but-
Well,
if I- Dory,
but
let-
on the
Dory, let
other
me speak
hand-
to that for a second.
Yeah.
So in talking with you and others and Skanska, the design team, it feels like we're at a good spot where we could go out, we could have Fontaine bring in a graphic designer, we give them some direction, like Sparta or whatever, whatever it is. They come back with some options. If we like what we see and we pick one, then we turn them loose. The investment in this is very likely under 25 grand a building.
Yeah, I think I would just like
It's not a lot of money.
something that in the pool would parallel what's happening in the gym. I wouldn't want them to be like separate.
Well, agreed.
There should be some type of connection between the two where they complement each other in some way,
Dory, correct me if I'm wrong, but the issue with just text in the gym, you were showing the location of the screen, that's in conflict, right? In terms of what was,
No, I'm not. I mean, you wouldn't, well, I mean, if you can flip back and get a sense of that.
yeah.
I mean, and again, what we were trying to do is incorporate the gray and white as well as text. And yeah, you could do something similar. I think the one thing I would want to point out, and maybe this isn't a big deal and everybody is already there, but the pool is branded with the red and gray for sure. But it's also still a community pool that has, does it not have the Marlins? Don't they have their
It
own?
does have the Marlins, yep. Yep.
So,
Welcome to the Redstone it is.
right, I see your point. That's not it's strictly Spartan based. It's more East Long Meadow based. Okay, I see the thinking. If you could go back to that slide with those other murals, that might be helpful too. So you see, I will say on the text basis, the simplicity of the number of words and letters helps with the scale and size. So whatever we come up with, if it's text-based, I think you can show some layouts and get that, and then you're just using the color around it and the background on it. On the left, that idea of the sort of like the athletic silhouettes, I think there was some conversation about like a swimmer emerging from the water as a context. So I think you'll want to give a few concepts, yeah. But certainly, yeah, this is
Is everyone good
the
with the
general
general
question.
approach?
Yeah.
I don't mean in terms of what it looks like, but just the process.
Engaging a graphic designer to come up with options versus the standard design that we have.
Yeah.
Second.
Oh, man.
I think you just change Trojans to Spartans and call it a day.
There you go.
He's pretty sharp.
Whole new color scheme.
Well, yeah, I mean,
25 grand. That's it.
Any other questions, comments on that idea? All right, seeing none.
Missed the end of it, so
Yeah.
nothing.
We're going with the Trojans.
you're chair of a subcommittee.
Wonderful.
That's it. The game starts in the heart.
Yet another one.
Going with welcome to
We'll
the.
talk more about this and we'll bring some direction to it.
Okay.
Dory, anything else on design?
No, you can flip back forward. Sorry to have thrown you backwards there. Okay. Just to get into the change order proposal that you'll be signing off on today. Should you want to intro that, Ben, or you just want me to?
If you
Jump
could,
right in.
Dory, you
Okay.
were more on the ball with it, with me being out last
Sure.
week, so I'd appreciate that.
I appreciate the way we support each other on our busy weeks and quiet weeks.
Likewise.
Okay, sure. I'm going to lean in closer.
401, talk fast.
What is that?
I'll tell Mark about our.
Okay, sorry about that.
Quiet
So generally, this is change order 6. Just want to give you a little bit of status on what they're coming from here. 11R is that we missed, honestly, in the concessions building, providing a paint finish on the interior. And that paint finish will somewhat replicate some of what you saw at the pool. It'll be quite simple, but with a red band. And that was on us. Basically, the concessions building was sort of on its own separate drawing track. So we had to own that needed to be picked up. The non-load bearing CMU wall, there's a required clip that really secures it to the deck. So it's a very small detail, but that small detail, it was agreed through the process, was essential to kind of anchoring those CMU walls. Not actually a big deal, but an important one. Steel tariffs, by kind of previous conversation topic, tariffs were going to be agreed. They were not something that could have been anticipated by the CM or anyone at this point. It's such a kind of completely up and down issue. So any changes that are coming about through the tariff process are going to be directly applied to the owner's contingency. So this is one of the tariff invoices that we'll have to face, and there will be others. The adult toilet room, the school decided that they wanted to have a unique hardware set that allows visibility and access and a specific key for teachers only. So it's different than the other restrooms. So that change to the door hardware what brought about that $11,000 change order. And then back in the day, there's a lot of discussion about ways to support LCAT's use of LCAT's coverage of events in the gymnasium, the pool, the auditorium, and the LGI, large group instruction space, which is really essentially the Seven Roads room. And that
Saved it, you pulled it all out. Good work, Tori.
So there's a lot of unique locations that we had to pull some infrastructure to be able to support LCAT in the school. And that's what that change order is relating to. So all in all, total cost of these change orders together is $74,238.92.
I don't know if it matters, but LCAT has an E on it. I don't know if this is going anywhere, but
Oh, right. Sorry.
it's all right.
Yeah.
Ain't Long Meadow, Dory.
And if I could add some context before the motion here on the steel tariffs. So Dory mentioned there will be other ones to come. We were able to purchase much of the steel for the building prior to these being in effect. So really it's largely just associated with the pool and then some decking. And so it was limited as much as we could do, but it's kind of one of those unfortunate force majeure type of circumstances. So
I think we did as well as we could.
honestly,
You guys expedite some trucking, just,
there was some strategy there, and seeing other projects that got hit hard by it, like for nothing.
Last year,
Saved a lot of money.
We
how
saved a
much,
lot.
approximately how much would the impact be if we had not done all that?
Well, this is
prior?
only part of the decking. I think the next one's even more for the steel. It would have been 15.
I don't have the exact figure, Frank, but we could work
Tariffs
it
are
up.
50.
Right? It's significant.
We're talking like
We're-
six figures.
We're talking.
easy six.
Good work.
Yeah, well done. Is there a motion to approve change order 6?
Move to approve change order 6.
Is there a second? We have a second. Any more discussion required? Seeing none. Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. Christensen?
Yes.
Ms. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Quimby?
Yes.
Mr. Page?
Yes.
Ms. Hill?
Yes.
Ms. Collins?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. I think we pass. Any new business other than scheduling the next gathering? Seeing none? Ben, when do you need people back?
What I'd like to propose, since we're getting into crunch time here, I mean, it's all crunch time, right, Mark? But for meetings, if we could target the last Thursday of every month, or, so long as that doesn't conflict with any holidays or any other town events, we just are gonna need one a month. So if that happens to work for everybody, it'd be great. If not, we can adjust.
Can I push back? Sorry.
That's actually break time, isn't it?
What?
Is that school break?
The 26th is gonna be a little tough for me.
Okay.
We have curriculum night that night. So
adjust.
So that takes probably Heather and Gordon as well. In all
I'm
likelihood.
invited. I'm just teasing.
Yeah, so what's important to us is just meeting once a month, so.
You want to push it to the 5th and then just do the first Thursday?
Yeah.
Perfect.
The 5th.
Can you make it through February?
I think so. I don't want to speak for the rest of the crew, but I think, given that we're at where we're at
If
today.
you get jammed up, we can pull together a Zoom if an approval's needed.
And I'll say, Ben, if you moved it one day back to the 25th, like, that's fine. It's just the Thursdays sometimes get tricky, that's all.
I'd prefer that much better, but that's just me and Frank, Wednesdays.
Wednesday? That's just as good to us. I don't know how we got into the Thursday groove, but,
Yeah, I'll say Wednesdays work much better for
Throw
me.
people off.
same time,
A lot of Thursday stuff.
3 o'clock.
Town Zoom, could we promise to be done by 5 for conservation at 6?
Yeah, it'd be a 2 hour.
Safe bet.
Yeah, we could do that.
If we feel as though the agenda is encroaching on that, we'll let you know, but yeah, we can do that.
So are we going to the
Wednesdays, we're
25th?
staying with, are we going with the 25th?
25th?
Can everybody do that? Yeah.
25th, 3 PM?
Rest of our team, that seems to work, right? We'll let you know if it doesn't. And that'll just be, not, we can carry that out as long as you guys need, but the expectation is probably through the summer, and then we'll address what's needed from there.
Okay, cool. Very well. Motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Lovely. Any debate? You want to stay for a while, Mark?
Say 4.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Tom?
Yes.
And in a row.
Yes.
Good one.
Ryan?
Yes.
Frank? Kathy?
Yes.
Kim?
Yes.
I'm a yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.